So I'm going to take a few minutes and give you very quickly the opening lecture, something that I've called You Are More. Premature success, the reasons for premature success. There are several slogans in Nigeria. Many of them are very interesting. One of them is that when the person is going, he says, I dey come. He's going, but he's telling you, I dey come. So we have a number of those slogans. Some of them, if you're quarreling with someone, they tell you that, do you know who I am? As though you're supposed to know who they are. And then sometimes they ask you, you dey crazy? I mean, if you need to ask me if I'm crazy, it's possible that you are the one who is crazy. Because if you see a madman, you should know. So if you see a decently dressed man, and you are asking him, you dey mad, it's possible that the one who is asking may be the mad one. And one of them that is very interesting and very particular to this summit is that we all want to hammer. Have you heard that before? I must hammer. And now, when we say that, it means a lot of things, all right? But one of the things that we don't understand is that every time you hammer, you are driving something down. To hammer something, you need to drive a nail down. And every time you attempt to drive a nail down, usually it comes with a very loud noise. So number one point of hammering is that something must go down. Number two is that something will make a lot of noise. Number three, the thing that you drive down never multiplies. And number four, hammering is a very instant experience. Now, the people that you know that have hammered, look at their lives very well. They drove something down that was important. Number two, they make a lot of noise on social media. And sometimes the noise they make is not equivalent to the content they showcase. Now, while we are trying to hammer, we should be striving to plant, not to hammer. But we don't want to plant because planting, even though planting means that you are driving something down, because to plant, like hammering, you must drive something down. Am I correct? But when you plant a seed, it is usually very quiet. There's no noise. People that plant don't make noise. People that hammer, they make noise. If I'm hammering in this room, you will hear in the next room. But if I'm planting in this room, you will not even hear in this room. Many people that plant are noiseless people. So when you are making too much noise, it's possible that you may be hammering. You have hammered, like you are praying. You are praying for hammering. You have hammered. Have you noticed that when you hammer, if you attempt to pull the nail out, what you drove down, you must bend it to get it out. Whatever you drive down by hammering, to get it back up, you must bend it. But when you plant, it comes back up. It multiplies and it stands straight. You can't get that from hammering. But many of us would rather hammer than to plant. And when you hammer, it is instant. When you plant, it's a process. It takes time for what you plant to yield. It doesn't take time for what you hammer to yield. Is that correct? Many of us also aspire to make it. They are connected. I want to hammer and I want to make it. The problem with making it is that many of us don't even know what it is. You want to make it. The it you want to make, you don't know. And then you don't understand the concept of making. You see, if you want to get it, getting it is instant. Making it is a process. When you say you want to make it next time, understand that you are saying you want to make. You want to make. And when you make, it takes time and skill and process to make. The reason why many times things are breaking is because they are not properly made. Are you following it now? Because when you were striving to make it, you were actually striving to get it. Because if you truly gave time to making it, it shouldn't have broken that fast. Because to make something, it takes time. It takes time. To get something is instant. To make it takes time. And like getting things, to break it is also instant. So you see a house that took 12 years to make, you need 12 hours to bring it down. You see a house that takes 2 years to build, you need 2 hours to demolish it. You see a chair that takes 4 days to make, it takes 4 seconds to break it. So, it don't break. Many times things are breaking because they are not properly made. Many strive for a harvest. I'm coming to those of us who go to church now. You know that prayer we're praying, that dry fasting? Is for a harvest. But you don't even understand the concept of harvest. Many of you, when you pray for a harvest, when you strive for a harvest, when you work for a harvest, what you settle for was actually a seed, not a harvest. Now, this is what your future is supposed to look like. A field of yield. Say yield. You know that yield and harvest are two different things. When I plant a crop and I have a field of yield, no, the yield is not my harvest. Am I correct? No, you don't get it. I can have a yield on 5 hectares of land that will never benefit me. You know why? Because it is on the farm. For me to benefit from a yield, I must reap it. So some of you are on the right track. You have planted. You didn't hammer. You planted. You have a harvest now. But the problem is that what you are calling a harvest, number one, is a yield. It's not a harvest. So it's on the field, but it's not in your hand. You came to a summit and you learned how to plant. You didn't learn how to harvest. That is why you are here, to learn how to add and to multiply. Many of you, this is what your life looks like now. It's a few heaps of growth. You know, you planted some things, and it yielded well. It did well. But the problem, sir, is that, hear this, it's a painful thing to say. 1 million naira is never a harvest. It doesn't matter how poor the receiver is. The reason why Africans don't have generational businesses is that many things that we settle for are seeds. So you have made 10 million and you are insulting your uncle. You see that Nigerian slogan? You say, do you know me? Adoche, Ajum, you know me? You know why you're talking like that? It's 10 million naira. 2 years ago when you had 2,000, you were humble. But that 10 million is what? Is this? It's a seed. Every success is preparation. Write it down. There is no success on earth that is a harvest. The only thing that you can successfully do and call it permanent harvest is death. If you have not died, but anything that comes your way as success is preparation for the next level. Anything. Be it 10 million or 10 billion. If you have that understanding, you will build 100 years business. Not 2 years. Say 1 million is when you harvest. Let me tell you about a stupid mother. A stupid mother is like an African image. That is how we live our lives in Africa. A stupid mother is a mother whose child began to run and tells the world that his child has arrived. You say, my child can run. As impressive as it is for a child to run, it is nowhere in comparison to what the child can become. So is a seed in your hand. And that seed could be the success or the money or the degree that you have. It's like a mother putting a stop to a child's life on the premise of the fact that the child can walk. Come on, say seed and harvest. This is a summary. I'm shutting down on this now. The problem we have is that we eat what is designed to be a yield. We eat what is designed to be a yield. Ladies and gentlemen, you are more, and we hope that after this summit you will learn how to add and multiply. Thank you.